Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, when you're a kid, especially when you learn what's cool, not you don't do the other things. You just do what's cool. Like, and Van Halen was the definition of cool. And look, man, just to clear it up, you know, Dave was as intrinsic to the sound of Van Halen as anybody. It was
clearly. Look at the records.
He was honestly all of them. It was just an absolutely brilliant combination of players. The power trio was unbelievable, and nobody could. You're right. Nobody could have sung over that stuff and made it as cool as he did, as is evidenced by Van Hagar. I'm just saying.
And I'm a huge fan of Van Hagar, so I'll stand by it.
Being someone who grew up in Van Hagar, I'll defend it. But it is funny though, because when you look at like the Live Without a Net video, which somebody brought up, I don't remember who brought.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I remember getting that tape as a kid, and here's Van Halen with mullets and parachute pants, and Eddie's playing a Steinberger, and you're like, hello, and like Alex's kit is like Simmons drum toms, and you're like, what the fuck went wrong here? But you still watch it, and you're like, this is really
I
fucking
fucking
cool.
love it. Yeah.
But then you like rewind 2 years, and you're like, here's Roth and fucking Roto Toms, and fuck you, and you're like,
it's like two different bands, though.
Is.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I love, because I can't. You know, I don't want to have to pick one, because I love the Roth era. I love the Hagar era.
If you had to pick one.
I mean, I would. I'm
Pick one.
I'm a huge Sammy Hagar fan, so I would.
Wrong choice.
Well, you know, I'll
Did
stick
you grow
with
up
it.
here?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
I think that's the difference, Eric.
Probably.
Is that
It's
like,
Sammy's a Midwest
when
thing for
like,
sure.
oh, he's a St. Louis.
Yeah, it's a St. Louis,
man.
Totally St. Louis thing.
Yeah.
When
He could
I
be
moved
mayor
here
here.
at 16, like I remember driving around with my friends on a Friday night at 6 o'clock, and they played Rock and Roll Weekend, and I was like, I've never heard this song. What is this? And they're like, dude, it's Sammy Hagar. I'm like, who's Sammy Hagar?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
All over the place, but I got to St. Louis at 15.
From where?
Upstate New York,
Okay.
Cincinnati, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, and then I was born on Travis Air Force Base in California.
All right. I was born in New York. I was in New York till I was 15. Then I lived in L.A. for 20 years. But my whole musical journey was L.A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So look,
But I want to go back to Sammy Hagar.
I want to do that. I want to talk about Sammy Hagar too.
But
I'll wait.
I love the fact that, I mean, I look at and his solo stuff was all right. You know, it was good for what it was. But the thing
rock
was,
and roll.
he had said, you know, Eddie inspired him so much. And after the VOA tour, he was reading a lot of, you know, books on spirituality, this and that. But Eddie inspired him so much that it was just, you know, that melding. I think it really brought him up like so many levels. And
inspired Sammy, you mean?
Oh, definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
Sure.
I mean, Eddie's just, you know, his genius, that inspiration.
There's no question, man.
Then even with a solo afterwards, you
Yeah.
know, it's just like it's like a whole different energy level.
Sure.
You know, look, Sammy's a great rock and roller. I mean, you know,
Dude, when you think of 5150, I mean, say what you will about it.
Dude, Sammy Hagar is a better singer than Dave.
Oh, of
Grohl.
course.
And
So
that
that's
album
it.
had,
Of course.
I mean, here we go. I mean, at 5150,
Yeah.
that album was huge.
There's like
I
every
mean,
song.
Good Enough,
there's
Why
like,
Can't This Be Love,
Yeah.
Dreams, Summer Nights,
Lame.
Best of Both
Lame.
Worlds,
I love
Love Walks
Summer
In.
Night.
No, but I mean,
The song 5150.
yeah,
is
I mean,
like,
that record was
Terrible.
It was huge. I mean,
no, look, I'm
it
just
was
kidding.
big enough to wear parachute pants
Yeah.
and Steinbergers
your
were fine.
pantalones, and you're like,
Look, let me just I'll be straight here. Like Sammy's awesome. I know he's a great artist. It's just for me, like I grew up on.
Oh, and I understand that. Yeah.
Hold on,
I understand.
But you're
I
not from
might.
and you're not from St. Louis, so
I'm an LA boy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like it's just like for me, like the whole like rebellious thing about rock and roll. That's what Van Halen
Sure,
represented
yeah,
to me,
yeah.
and I just felt like the Sammy version was a cleaned up. You know, that's not what I wanted from
I
Van
agree.
Halen.
Yeah, I agree
And
with that.
even like. It sounded like they had money, you know, like, okay, we're going to take $80 billion and make a crystal clean record. And I didn't want to hear that. I wanted to hear, you know, Dave go burping into a microphone and like, let's see what happens. There was no let's see what happens on those Sammy records.